What's up, guys? Here we are again with another episode of Tuesday Talks. So today we have an amazing home inspector owning an amazing home inspection company. We have Paul Ferguson here from the Pillar to Post, the Paul Ferguson team. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here, and I know we always talk about doing home inspections, getting home inspections on homes, and we're going to hear directly from Paul what his thoughts are. But you know how Tuesday Talks goes. We're going to ask 3 questions. We have a question from the person last week, and then you'll give us your question for this week. So Paul, questions from last week is, if you won the lottery, what would your first purchase be?
Yeah, that is a tough one. Like, that can make you look like a real schmuck or someone that's really intelligent with their money. But I think a safe bet is whatever Heidi wants. My wife, which I didn't ask her that question up front, but that would be my first go-to is what would you want to do with that money?
Oh, I agree with you. Happy wife, happy life, right?
Exactly right.
And Heidi is in the trenches as well. She's working the business, and she's one you can always get in touch with as well. So definitely that's the way to go. Whatever Heidi wants, I would say the same for Linda. So Paul, first question, what makes your company different from any other home inspection company?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's something we struggle with every day to make sure that we set ourselves apart different. And the question brought me back to thinking about why I got into the business in the first place. And I was passionate about real estate in general, rehabbing homes and working in construction right out of high school. One of the things that was interesting was there weren't a lot of professionals doing this. There was a lot of jeans and a truck and a ladder and a flashlight. And we saw an opportunity to make this a much more professional business. And so what I believe makes us different is, number one, is we care wholeheartedly about the professionalism of this business.
I agree.
Making sure our guy, when a person gets one of our team members, they know exactly what they're going to get, whether it's dress, the vehicle they drive, how they speak to the clients, which is one of the most important things that is on our team as far as what we focus on. But really, the things that set us apart are, number one, is we are a one-stop shop. Everything you need for home inspections, whether it's a radon test, sewer scope, well and septics, you call us and we can schedule you so that you're not trying to interrupt the seller, for multiple appointments. Because every time you bring in another company, you are interrupting that particular person's life to have them stop, be there, and so you have multiple interruptions to their life. So we want to be that one-stop shop. The second thing is that we have a team of people that surround this business, meaning that when you're first starting in a home inspection business, a lot of times it's a one guy, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you're in a crawl space or an attic, it's very hard to take an agent's call to be able to get them exactly what they need during the day. Yeah. And so when an agent calls and says, "Hey, I need that home inspection set up ASAP. It needs to be tomorrow at 9 a.m." And I have a team that can take that call, book it, and run with it. Or I need a past well and septic report. Would you mind sending that to me again? The team can, get that to them right away. The other part that has really changed in the last year or so is everything has become so technologically advanced when it comes to our life, but it's finally integrating into the home inspection world. So anyone familiar with Matterport is the best way that people know. The 360 tour of a home is now what we have as far as our home inspection, where when we do a home inspection, the 360 view of the entire home, the inspection is integrated with that. So when someone walks through a home inspection report, they literally are doing a virtual tour. But let's just say in a kitchen we found a GFCI that needed to be replaced, or it wasn't working, or didn't exist. The note would be off to the side as they're looking around that kitchen. They can click on that note, it would zoom them into the outlet and would show them which one we're talking about that needs to be fixed. So it's much more interactive, and what's neat about that is that mom and dad can see the house 100 times after they weren't able to maybe make it to the home inspection, or either the husband or the wife or one of the people that really wanted to see it couldn't be there. Yeah. They can view the home over and over and over again. So that has become huge to something that's very different.
Another cool thing I know for a fact is you guys are probably the only company that you get a printout of your report right there and then. I mean, that's phenomenal, especially with people who don't have much time to get back to their to the other agents. Getting that printout, taking it home with you as a client, that's phenomenal. Another cool thing you guys do, and it's just throwing me backwards, that infrared thing in the walls.
Yeah.
I mean, not many people do that. I've had clients do those, and they're phenomenal in terms of overheating wires or rodents in the attics. I've seen that with that infrared as well. Picking up rodents in the attic.
Yes.
You know, these are things that you get with some of these other inspections that you guys do. And yeah, that's absolutely things that set you guys apart. I'll just say that. All right. Next question. Why would you not skip a home inspection?
So as you know, that became a trend this past year.
Yes.
Kind of the first time I've seen that in 22 years, where because of the housing market shortage, people did that to win the bid. The problem was they were also overpaying for the house itself just to win the bid. So let's say you paid $50,000 over the home asking price, you pass on the home inspection, you move in, and you no longer have the protection of a home inspection. That if you have a bad roof, a structural problem in your house, there's nobody there that would be able to help or protect that situation where somebody looked at that and found it for you.
Yeah.
So now you've overpaid for the home, you found out you have a bad roof, and you're upset. And that's what we have seen this past year with that happening. So I think number one is be safe, know exactly what you're getting, because the anxiety of not knowing what you're getting, the emotions involved in real estate is high. But when you know what you're getting and you can accept it based on, I know I've got a roof that's gonna be replaced in a year or so, that's okay. I still accepted it in that terms. Everybody's on the same page. Surprises create a lot of frustration.
Yeah, and then you look at the liability side of it. You know, things that you can see with a home inspection and you're not seeing it because you skipped it. That's a big part that I've been kind of showing the agents as well. That liability issue. Well, you never told me this was wrong, or and it comes back to bite you after a few months. I always say a home, the novelty of a new home wears away in 6 months because you're opening the doors and you're living in the house and seeing the problems that you may not have seen during that first walkthrough. Yeah, so definitely a home inspection is very important.
And you bring up a great point about the liability. So agents in general protecting themselves, this weight is now not on their shoulders, right?
Yeah.
We've always been, put it on us, that's our job, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to be involved in that, that should be between us and the client. And we carry that liability. Back to the why are we different or how are we different, we carry $2 million in errors and omissions insurance. If we were to miss something, you're covered. That's what it's there for. Now, obviously we don't ever want to miss anything major, but that's why we carry that kind of insurance. Without that, you're not protected anymore.
Yeah, you guys did an inspection for my son actually, and that's one of my testimonials. There was a leak in the plumbing in the crawl space. Nobody knew it was there. Even the sellers did not know because this was in the crawl space. They picked up on that, and thank goodness we did do that home inspection. Otherwise, that cost would have been ridiculous. You know, so that's some of the important things for doing a home inspection. So, number 3, what is your favorite memory over the past 22 years of home inspection?
That was a tough question. I wanted to think of what was my favorite memory. I could only go to the time where about 2012, we had, if you remember that time frame when the industry kind of took a downward turn after 2008, and home inspections there was a lot of foreclosures at that point because there were so many out there on the market, and it wasn't a lot of fun. And we decided we're either going to make this a real business, grow it the way we want it to be, which was not just myself and Neil and Heidi doing the work. We wanted a company. We wanted a place where people could thrive, could work, and build a business that could serve others well, and what we wanted. And we decided if we aren't going to bring it to that point, we're going to sell our franchise, and we're going to do something else that we're really passionate about and love. In talking with Heidi about it and deciding what we want to do is make this everything we always wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And so we went from doing about 400 inspections a year to 1,800 inspections a year in about 3 years. And so it was a lot of fun. That time frame to me was just, you're bringing people on, you're training, you're coaching, you've got a team that you're building, and you finally have something you'd always hoped. And hitting that mark, it was kind of one of those big, hairy, audacious goals. We had hit it, and we thought, oh my goodness, like we're here. And of course, there's been a lot of lessons learned once you get to that point. But that was the funnest time, I think, during our career.
Well, yeah, I hear you with that. Actually, I started my business off of foreclosures. I started during that time, 2010 was when I started, and foreclosures was the big thing in that market. So, Paul's question, that was 3 questions to you, Paul, and your question to the next person. What's your question to the next person doing?
Yeah, so my question is not like a simple fun one. I guess I was told that should maybe be like, what's your favorite ice cream? But I was thinking, what would you tell your 20-year self? That was just an interesting conversation I've been thinking about over the last 6 months.
That's actually a great one. I would have to ask myself that same question.
Right.
What would you tell your 20-year-old self? It does, I always have this thing, it's like, when you look forward in time, it looks so far away, but when you look back in time, it seems like just yesterday. Right. And we're looking at a 20-year-old person. Yeah, that's a food for thought. So listen, guys, Paul Ferguson, we always love talking with Paul and his team, and all Paul's inspectors are licensed as required by the state of Ohio, and remember that when you're looking for a home inspector as well. So we thank Paul for coming here to talk to us about the home inspections and his company. Thank you, Paul. We always welcome you guys here to do classes. They do a lot of CE classes in case you're looking for that as well. And thank you, Paul, for coming, and we look forward to doing another one with you. Maybe we'll have Heidi next time.
Yes, that would be even better.
So listen, guys, here's a pillar to post, the Paul Ferguson team. If you need to get in touch with them, there's their contact information. You'll see it right here on the screen. And reach out to them whenever you need anything when it comes to home inspections. All right, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Okay.